This is Jonathan from Seraph Studios, and today I'll be taking a look at two SEO audit reports. I'll be making a comparison between the SE Ranking report and the SEO Tester Online report. Let's move on. First, let's have a look at the SE Ranking report, which I have open over here. As we can see on the first page itself, there is already a summary and some information of your website's SEO. There are important fixes, semi-important fixes, crawled pages, past checks, and there's an overall score. And the important thing here to take notice is this report has white label feature where you can replace your own company logo and your company name, making the report yours. So what else do we have here? We have a summary of your ranking on Alexa and the number of backlinks. There's a Moz domain authority score, and there's an index status. How many pages are indexed on the three major search engines, Google, Bing, Yahoo, where your server is located, when is the expiration date of your domain, and when did your domain first get registered. So moving on, there is a health check for your domain. It's an overview of whether your domain is redirected. Do you have URL rewrite turned on for your domain? This makes your URL more user-friendly, reader-friendly. Trailing slashes redirects from HTTP to HTTPS. This ensures that your website is secured by an SSL certificate and is important for SEO ranking. Your robots text file. This will give instructions to the search engine crawler bots, whether you want them to index all the pages, exclude certain pages, and etc. Whether your website has XML sitemaps generated and submitted to the major search engines. No Flash, whether your site is still using Flash. No frame, whether your site is using iframes, which is kind of frowned upon. And common homepage variations, whether your site content have multiple URLs and Google will consider it as duplicate content, impacting your overall ranking on search engines. Moving on, we have page analysis. Here the report tells you how many pages have issues and how many don't. So how many pages have the 200XX response, 300XX, 400XX response. The good thing about the report is it lists out all the pages that have issues you need to fix. Other than that, it also checks whether your pages are too big, file size, whether your URLs are too long, is it blocked by the robots, any meta no index, meta no follows, is it canonical? Did you put this meta tag canonical to tell search engines that this page is the original page for your content, and many other attributes. Next is the meta analysis. Here it tells you whether your meta tags are in place, whether you have a duplicate title, missing or empty title, are your titles too long, more than 70 characters, or are they too short, less than 10 characters, and do you have empty meta descriptions? Here, as you can see, it lists out 8 pages with empty meta descriptions, which I'll need to go back in and add in. Duplicate descriptions. Are your descriptions too short, less than 50 characters, or are they too long? Next on the report is content analysis. So here the report will tell you whether you have duplicate content, how many pages have low word count, which is below 250 words. Do your pages have H1, empty H1, no H1 tag? Are your H1 tags too long? Here there are 2 pages with H1 tags that are too long. Duplicate H1, do you have H2 tags, empty H2 tag? Empty H2 tag or empty H1 tag would mean you have the H1 tag on your site, but there's no text in between the tags. And there's 7 pages with H2 tags which are too long. Next up is link analysis. Here you will have information about your outgoing links, internal links. Are there too many outgoing links? Do you have more than 100 outgoing links on a single page? URLs with excessive number of redirects, and links, internal links with missing anchor tags. So listed here, there are 247 internal links without anchor tags, which I'll need to take a look at. External links with missing anchor tags, same as above, but these are pointing to external sites. And let's see, internal links which use no follow, external links with no follow, inbound internal links, there are none, external links that use do follow, external links with 400 exact status. And let's go to the next section. Okay, next up is images analysis. So here you get to know how many images you have but are missing alt text. Alt text is important to tell the search engines what your image is about, and in case your image doesn't load, the alt text will load in its place, and that will let people know what image is missing. It gives context to your image. So next up is mobile friendly test. So this will tell you what you need to optimize in order to consider your site as mobile friendly, such as minifying your CSS, JavaScript, making sure that your JavaScript execution time doesn't take too long, and etc. There are a number of attributes here you need to consider. Same goes for the desktop version of your website. And finally, this is the last section of this report by SERanking, the usability and technologies, where it lets you know whether your site has a favicon. Does it have a custom 404 page? It even tells you your average website loading speed. Is your website safe for browsing? Is it containing friendly content, or is it maybe infected with malware? Then lastly is the W3C HTML validation. Yeah, so overall I'd say the SERanking report is good in a way that it lists out all the pages that needs attention, but it doesn't really give you instructions or tips on how to fix the issues, so you have to Google or ask an expert on this. Next, we have the SEO tester report. Just let me share the screen for this report. Okay. Yes, here we go. So at first glance, we see that this report looks a bit more professional with a nicely designed front cover. As of this recording, there is no white label functionality yet, but they are going to release the white label function next month in June. So next month you'll be able to change your logo, insert your company name, and make the report your own. Moving on, we have the overview or summary page, which gives you an overall score of over 100. The number of exams or tests that have been run, how many have been optimized, how many needs improvement, how many that needs checking again. And these are further broken down into 5 areas: base, structure, content, duplicated, and social. So from here, you can tell which area of your site needs more attention. Now, the first section is the base section, where we start off with Google snippets. So here it tells you that there are 47 snippets not optimized for search engine. So what to solve? It even tells you what you need to do to solve this issue. So to improve your search previews, you have to increase the scores obtained with tags, title, and the meta description. These are your meta tags, which is similar to what the SERanking report mentioned earlier, but they never mention how to fix the issues. Vice versa, the STO report here doesn't list out the pages which needs your attention. So I'd say both has areas to improve on. Next would be the meta descriptions, which is kind of similar to the Google snippets. Google snippets are the overview overall, which includes the title and description, and will appear as a preview on the search engine results pages. So here there's a very lengthy lengthy description and tips on how you can optimize your meta descriptions. So it tells you that it's a good way to provide concise, human-readable summary of each page's content. So it tells you to make sure that every page on your site has a meta description. Differentiate the descriptions for different pages. So you should not use the same description for multiple pages, and etc. So it is very clear and detailed. And of course, it tells you what to solve as well. Missing titles, these are the meta tags. So there are no missing titles, which is good. And again, there is a very lengthy description of tips on how to better optimize your meta titles. And it tells you the tag, how does the tag actually look like. Next up are truncated titles, truncated descriptions. These would be equivalent to the titles being too long, descriptions being too long in the SEO ranking report, which we saw earlier. So yeah, it tells you what to solve. In some of your pages, we found titles too long. A good title should contain between 55 to 65 characters, and remember not to exceed 70 characters. For meta descriptions, it tells you the same. It should be between 250 and 300 characters and not exceed the limit of 170 characters. Okay, this is a bit confusing. Perhaps it's a typo. Next is meta descriptions too short. Do you have descriptions which are too short, which is below 70 characters? Next, we have the missing href length. This is mainly to describe what language your page is actually in. This was not present in the SEO ranking report. Missing X default. Again, this is not present in the SEO ranking report. Canonical. This was present in the SEO ranking report. So this is important to identify your own page as the original page for your content, just in case someone decides to copy your content and post it on their own blog. The search engines would know that your page is the original. Next up, we have structure. So is your website enabled with compression? So this will be mainly on the server side. If you're using Apache, it's mod deflate, and IIS, you have to configure the HTTP compression. Then there's robots.txt. This was also available in the SEO ranking report previously. So this is also an important file you need to be aware of. Sitemap. Sitemaps are also very important to help guide the search engines in indexing your website, your web pages. This is something new, text to code ratio. So I suppose I would need more content, more text compared to code on 42 of my pages. HTTPS migration. Is your site on HTTPS? Is it secured by an SSL? This is a major requirement for ranking high in Google currently. Images optimization. This will show you the number of images which don't have an alt attribute, the alt text. Are your alt attributes oversized? The pages not found or the 404 errors. 173 pages couldn't be crawled. This would be probably from my old site, which has already been deleted. It'll probably take some time for it to be de-indexed. Next up, we have content. With the content level, how many pages have less than 400 words, less than 800 words, and how many pages have high content level? Are your H1 tags too long? Is your page missing H1 tag? Do you have multiple H1 tags on your pages? Same for the H2 tags. Oversized, which means too long, missing. Now we move on to duplicated. How many pages are duplicated on your site? Are there duplicated titles, duplicated meta descriptions, duplicated H1, H2? Now we move on to social. This is an interesting section, open graph. This is important to ensure that your whenever you share your link to a blog post on social media, it determines what your preview image and your preview text is going to be. So many times we may share a link and the image that gets pulled into the preview is not what we intend it to be. So you can actually control it via the open graph. So you can fill in the title, the type, image, your URL. This can be easily done if you're on WordPress and you use a plugin such as Rank Math. It has a proper form and you just need to fill up all the fields, insert an image, and you're done. So open graph titles. Do your open graph snippets have titles? Open graph descriptions. Do they have descriptions? How many pages do not have a description? Images. Do all your pages have an open graph image inserted? Your site name, open graph type, open graph URL, Twitter card. These are similar to the open graph but specific to Twitter. So again, we found 41 pages with an incomplete Twitter card. So I'll need to go back in to fix these. Twitter card titles, descriptions, images, cards, and sites. And that's the end of the SEO report. So in comparison, I'd say that each has their strengths and weaknesses. The SEO report provides you with better descriptions, tips, and solutions on how you can solve each issue, whereas the SERanking doesn't go so in-depth into the solutions and what you can actually do to solve the issues on your pages. However, the SEO report does not list out the pages which have issues, and that can be quite troublesome for you to actually identify which page has what type of issue. If you're having a small site, that may not be much of an issue, but if you have a large site with more than 100 pages, good luck in finding the correct pages for each issue. SERanking shines here in this department as they list out each page that has an issue, so you can easily identify which page you want to fix for certain issues. So this concludes the comparison for the reports. And if you are interested in getting a copy of SEO, search the SEO tester online. You can do so by clicking the link below. There's an offer going on currently at PageGround, which offers the license for $69 for lifetime. So I recommend you to get a license if you are serious about doing SEO on your site. If you're not into doing it on your own, you can always contact us at Seraph Studios, and we'd be glad to have a consultation session with you. All right, this ends my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.